Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this adorable warthog is the new pattern in the Funny Faces Quilt Block of the Month Club. When I say new, it is July 2024, and this is the pattern that you get instantly if you are in the club. So if you're already in the club, you should have already received a link to download the new pattern. And if you're not in the club yet, but you join anytime in the month of July 2024, this is the pattern that you're going to get instant access to. If you're watching this video and it is way past July 2024 and you're looking for the pattern, just look in the shop at shinyhappyworld.com and you'll find it there. Here's how to make it. Okay, this is the video showing how to assemble the Warthog block if you do have a light box. So first, I'm going to show you my setup. I've got three things layered here. I've got my light box. I've got it turned on and as bright as it'll go. I have my placement guide and I have a clear silicone mat. I also have all of my pieces and I have got them all cut out nice and clean. And I have transferred, I'm not transferring anything on this one. He does not have a smile that needs to be transferred. And I am not going to do, well, maybe I will do I'll do the eyelashes on this one. So I just need to take the piece that has the eyelashes on it, and I am going to just quickly trace those so that when I remove the paper backing and have everything fused together, I'll still be able to see these eyelashes in order to stitch them. And the eyelashes carry over onto the ears, so I'm going to do those as well. That one doesn't. And then one more ear. There we go. Okay, now I've got everything ready and I'm going to start laying the pieces down. And I'm going to start with piece number 1. Because these identifying numbers tell you not only what piece is what, they also tell you, if you're using a light box, in what order you should lay them down. And it just makes the assembly much easier. So we're going to start with piece number 1 here, and that is his shoulders. We're going to get that in place. And then we have piece number 2, I think is one of his ears. So here's number 2. And then number 3 is his other ear. And number 4 is the little tuft of hair on the top of his head. Now, not all warthogs have a very visible tuft or mane at the top. They're mostly bald. They do have some kind of thin, scraggly hair. But I thought the little tuft was cute, so I gave him a more defined tuft coming out of the top. But if you want to make yours slightly more realistic, or you just want, if you're going to make a quilt with multiple warthogs, you can have one of them have a more visible tuft of hair and not all of them. So number 5 is the main headpiece with these weird warts that stick out the sides. They are just the oddest looking creatures. All right, now number 6, let me go ahead and turn all these over so that I can see. Oh, there it is, right under my nose. So piece number 6 is kind of his chin. It's the bottom part of his mouth. You can't really see a warthog's mouth in real life, but I wanted to give him the suggestion of a smile. So I made a more visible chin for him. Now 7 and 8 are the 2 horns. There is 1. And number 8. And then 9 is the big snout They have a really broad snout. If you're having trouble seeing the lines through your fabric, it tends to kind of cup up once you peel the paper off. But if you just touch it down, just touch it, you don't have to press hard, but just make contact between the layers and those lines will shine through much, much more clearly. So that was piece 9. So number 10 is the actual end of his snout. We'll call that his nose. And then 11 is one of his nostrils. 11 and 12 are identical. Those are the two slightly smaller ovals for the nostrils. And you could swap them out. It doesn't matter which one is which, but they are slightly smaller than the ovals for the eyes, which are number 13 and 14. And those are the last step. So I have set this guy up to be what I call snapshot style on the layout on the block. That's what I call it when I want it. I want it to look like I snapped a photo of the warthog and zoomed in on his face. So he has a body, it's just not all showing in the picture. And to get that illusion, I'm gonna, when I put this on my actual quilt block, I'm gonna line this straight edge up with the raw edge at the bottom of the block and then catch that in the seam when I sew the blocks together. And that'll give him the look of a snapshot. If you would rather make yours what I call emoji style, then just leave the shoulder pieces off and just float the head in the middle of the block. And that also looks great. It's just two different layouts that both work well. You just have to pick one. All right, there is the finished warthog. I'm going to now carefully lift up this silicone mat and carry it over to my ironing board, fuse everything together right on the mat, and then I let it cool, and then I peel up the pieces, and then I fuse it down onto my fabric block. That's the final permanent fuse. And then I'll do all the outline stitching and bring it back and show you the finished block and a couple of other color variations that I did. All right, here is a finished warthog. So I've done all of the outline stitching and I think he's absolutely adorable. I also added a couple of catch lights to his eyes. It just helps to bring those eyes to life. And there's a link in the pattern to a video tutorial showing you how to do that. It shows you a few different ways to do that. I just used fabric paint for mine, but I show you a hand sewing method and a machine sewing method that you can do it with thread. So this is one version of the warthog that I made. The colors of the warthog himself, all of the applique fabrics that I used are from the Fox blenders, part of the Animal Kingdom collection. And this background block is one of the Farmer's Market blocks. These are all quilt blocks. They're solid colors and they have quilting lines printed right on them, which makes it really easy to do. So this is a color palette that I'm working on putting together a whole bunch of animals for an ABC quilt that I am creating with all of my different blocks. But I did a couple more colors as well. So this is a version that I made for a new safari bundle. So I already have a safari bundle with 10 different African animals on it. And the African animals are so awesome. So I'm working on another safari bundle with 10 more African animals on it. And all of these are going to be the animals in natural colors. And then the background blocks are all from the Sea Breeze collection, which are all these kind of sun-faded, muted colors, kind of beachy colors. Like imagine paint at the beach that has been exposed to the sun for a few years. So for this one, I made the warthog in gray. They very often come in this kind of cinnamony brown, especially if they've been rolling around in a lot of mud. But most warthogs are actually kind of a grayish color. So this one is gray, and on this one you can see I did do the eyelashes, which are optional. They're included in the pattern. You can stitch them or you can just leave them off. And I've got one more version that I made. So this is just a fun, colorful version that I made. So another one with the eyelashes. This isn't for any particular bundle. I'm just working on a quilt that has a bunch of animals where the animal is in the Sea Breeze collection. So this is kind of a berry, nice red. I call it seashell. So it's a seashell, like imagine the inside of a seashell. And then the background blocks are all going to be different shades of gray. So this is just going to be a soft, muted, weathered color kind of quilt that has just all different unrelated animals, just whatever I think is cute and feel like putting on there. So that is the new Warthog block, the Funny Faces Quilt Block of the Month pattern for July 2024. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and I will see you next time.